Oh, hello. Hi. I'm Sarah Wing Intuitive Arts. Hot weather we're having, huh? I just thought, should I keep one of these in my car, like just in case? Like just in case? So I just want to come on and talk a little bit about reminders for this Mercury retrograde. Because is the key, baby. So Mercury retrograde is something that I feel like is like the most infamous of retrogrades. Like it's really just trickled into every facet of society. Like it's just so well known now. So since we are in the shadow period, meaning Mercury retrograde starts on June 29th. My birthday is the next day. I know you're curious. But it starts on June 29th. Shadow period meaning 7 to 10 days prior to when the planet starts. So the planet will start, it's, it, how we see it is it looks like it's like slowing down and then stationing and then it seems like it's retrograding. So we're in the shadow period, again, like 7 to 10 days before June 29th. Then it's going to retrograde, and then I always like to add the shadow period after the end of the retrograde. And I always think of it as kind of like, imagine the strong wind blowing in, like, okay, that's how the retrograde comes in. It's like, huh. And maybe it comes in like a strong wind. Maybe it comes in like, holy crap, like it blew a branch down. Maybe it's going to come into your life like one of those like dirt tornadoes that comes out of nowhere and you're like, anyone else see that? Like, holy crap, like it was a tiny tornado just on the sidewalk or wherever, you're walking down in a park and suddenly there's like some dirt tornado. So I always think of like, whoosh, that's the shadow period entering into the retrograde. Now, when the retrograde happens, it's always good if you're interested or you already know, kind of, you can look up your chart. And if you don't know, there's 12 houses in Western astrology. There are these 12 houses, 12 slices of pie. And if you wanted to look up a free chart, it would tell you where Mercury is going to be, what slice of that pie, what house that's going to be in. So it could be like in a house that's very spiritual, or it could be in a family house or a career house. And it might just be interesting to look up, even if that's new to you. So the remind is the re. Mercury retrograde, I always think about the re. So I'm here to remind things that happen with re. A lot of Mercury retrograde is like going back and finishing, like returning to things, which might mean like renewing things, refreshing things, reevaluating things, anything with a reinvention. There is a lot to do with kind of finally finishing things up, okay? Which is different than like you're progressively going through things and you're like, oh, I'm a couple steps away. Okay, and I'm about to finish this. No, I'm talking about that thing that you started once or you started 78 times. Like this would be, they're like, what does that remind you of? What am I reminding you of that you've gone back to the umpteenth times, right? Now Mercury is this mental, very mercurial mind. So mercurial mind meaning very inundated, especially if you're a sensitive person, empathic, sensitive. If you have any identify with any of these terms, you might feel, just information or energy inundated, right? And sometimes Mercury can just feel like it's like just beaming down this nonstop hit list of like, what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? And sometimes it's distracting, or sometimes it can be like, what? Like it feels like a red warning light going off, and you're just like, Like, I couldn't shut my brain off. But I just wanted to remind about the re in Mercury retrograde, because it is a great time to go back and return anything, redo, right? Anything with re. Anything where the re is really a focus is a great rule to kind of think of. Because I feel like everybody knows, they always say, like, oh, communication, flights, travel, of course. I hope this video works, right? I went and I had to return. There's a lot of, it's that re again, returning to. So I had to return to 2 stores already today, and I was like, and I'm in Michigan, so it's like, just like, it's construction season. So everything's like, but I know I have to do it, right? And I'm like, well, I'm going to have to do it anyway. Okay. Oh, in that shadow period, I'm starting my commitment to following through. And sometimes it just feels like a drudge, like you just have to work that much harder to like follow through to complete something, right? So there is a lot of that, yeah. So, and in general, yeah, of course, like, look over, return to things, recheck on dates if you're traveling, right? If you look up what house Mercury is going to be going through, maybe you're dealing with a lot of, like, you're checking a lot of stuff, information, or you're doing a lot of math for something. Just really recheck all that. Go through. It's one of those things where something could be so obvious to you all the time, and then during this time, maybe your mind is just taking on a little bit more, and maybe it's so subtle that you don't notice, oh, what happened? And it feels like a big thing, but if you go back and check what the things you typically review weekly, the things you typically are dealing with monthly, whatever, daily, it's just a good reminder to recheck these things, right? Like silly little things, or examine, as I think really that's it. Some people say don't sign contracts, don't all this stuff. But if you're finishing something up, you're returning to something, maybe you're revising a contract, maybe you're reevaluating next steps. I think that's all healthy, good stuff. So I just want to mention that because I think this heat wave, especially for us feeling the heat wave that is coming down the mountain for sure, that can kind of compress and agitate things that, my God, I swear to God, I think the most famous line that I remember from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air just came to mind, which is, "You're making a mountain out of a molehill." And Will is saying that to Hillary, and that's why it's hilarious. But, the heat can really, like, sometimes it's like that little bit of friction, like a pebble in your shoe, making a mountain out of a molehill, just emotionally, because it's going to be hot, 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 people. And speaking of heat and the fact that Mercury goes retrograde officially on June 29th, like I said, my birthday is June 30th. And for anyone who has any interest, I added a little Cash App to my account on Instagram, just in case anyone wanted to tip me for being an oracle. If somebody wanted to tip me for my birthday and buy me a slice of cake. I'm kind of like an angel in the sense that, like, I get a wish. I get to, like, make a wish every time somebody buys me a slice of cake. It's kind of like every time a bell rings, an angel gets their wings, but mine is like I get a wish every time I get a piece of cake. So if anyone watching this is interested and wants to tip me to give me a little slice of birthday cake, please do. And always, I appreciate any inquiries, messages regarding my artwork. If you have any questions that they don't even have to feel or seem spiritual that you want me to address in an upcoming oracle storytelling video, please message me those. I'm happy to always do that. But I just wanted to make this video especially before we get a little denser in the retrograde and the heat goes up. So I hope everyone stays cool. Here, I'll bring up my little, oh yeah, I'm wearing my little fairy necklace I got at the OCC pottery sale a couple years ago. Little fairy fountain. So fairy magic, cool down fairy magic. May you come upon a cool spot when you are outside during this heat wave that gives you a breeze to refresh you, or stumble upon a little fairy circle that suddenly feels cooling and reflective and lovely during this upcoming heat wave. And until next time.